The Carolina Panthers are 3-0, but it came at a cost with several key injuries to players like Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, and Jaycee Horn. We're going to break down what happened in this game, the impact of those injuries, and the outlook of both the teams that played. Then we're going to get into all of our week 3 picks with myself and your boy Q, and our game of the week with being the final pick that we pick. Who's our game of the week? Find out right here on the Locked On NFL podcast. I'm your host, Chris Carter. Let's get into it.
You are Locked On NFL, your daily NFL podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And welcome to the Locked On NFL podcast, the Friday edition with Chris Carter and your boy Q, running things down once again. Q, how you been, my man?
I'm good, man, and shout out to you off top, man. It was great being in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field, watching the Steelers and the Raiders, and actually getting to hang out with you, my brother, in person.
Yes,
so I definitely appreciate the hospitality, and let's get this show going, my man.
Yeah, man. I took him to the #1 wing spot in Pittsburgh, William Penn Tavern. Got him some kitchen sink wings. So if you ever in Pittsburgh, shout out to James Rapine of Locked On Bengals. He's coming here. I told him to go there as well. But I'm glad you.
What he just said, ladies and gentlemen, is if you're ever in Pittsburgh, call him and he'll take care of you, and he'll make sure that you have all your meal catered and taken care of, and it's on his dime because Chris Carter is loaded.
Whoa! See, now you're going a little too far, Q. The loaded part. I will give you suggestions. I will say where to go, but Chris Carter don't got all the bread. But in all seriousness, it was great to hang out with you.
Yes, thank you.
Drink some Yingling and everything. But let's get into the game of Thursday night. The Carolina Panthers were coming into this one, needed to continue to prove themselves. They do in a fashion of a 24-9 victory. They are 3-0. I know Matt Rule is your guy.
Yep.
And right now, that defense is for real. And I know it was just Davis Mills. I know there was a rookie quarterback out of Stanford, but they are handling their business and taking care of the opponents they should. But Q, this team is in a lot of trouble if these injuries are serious. You got a broken foot for Jaycee Horn, who was playing phenomenally so far in the first 3 games. Christian McCaffrey, the best player on this team, hurt with a hamstring. We don't know what that's going to be like. DJ Moore did come back, but he suffered an injury in this game. Those are all 3 key players for the Panthers moving forward. Still, it's better to be 3-0 dealing with that than 2-1.
Yeah, absolutely. And Matt Rule does a heck of a job. And like you said, that's my guy. I've been a big fan of Matt Rule since he was the head coach at Baylor. And I'm actually surprised that the defense is as good as it is already. And that you got to give them a lot of credit. When he took over that job, they drafted all defensive players because he knew that the defense had to get better quick, fast, in a hurry. They went out and got a lot of good quality guys, and now it's paying off for them having a great defense like they do. And I say great because I think that their defense is great. As you mentioned, they're beating the teams they should beat, but every team doesn't do that. So you got to give them a lot of credit for that. And again, man, Matt Rule is he's one of those guys that'll get things cooking. Usually it's year 3. This is year 2 for him, so he's a little bit ahead of the game already. So shout him out. Those injuries, though, that you mentioned, serious. Christian McCaffrey, he's been banged up ever since he signed his big mega deal. Ever since he signed that big contract, he's been banged up quite a bit. I don't know. He missed a lot of time last year. Hopefully he doesn't miss a lot of time this year dealing with that hamstring injury. But you could tell on that run play when he tried to go around the edge and all of a sudden he popped up, and I think Troy Aikman said, "Oh, he did a stutter step." That wasn't no stutter step, man. That was a hamstring popping. So hopefully it's not that serious, but it looked bad. Jaycee Horn looked even worse. I thought he had an Achilles tear, but he didn't. It's a broken foot. So I guess if you have to have an injury, a broken foot's way better than an Achilles. So, and he's a rookie, so you hate to see rookies get injured like that. But they got good quality players, and DJ Moore, he did return to the game, so you have to feel pretty good about that. The one guy that didn't get injured, the quarterback, Sam Darnold, I'll say this: they better not run him up the gut too much more because he was getting drilled to the point where his helmet came off.
Yeah, he was getting nailed. He had a decent night though, 23 of
Yeah.
34 for 304 yards. Didn't throw a touchdown, but definitely was flexing with DJ Moore. DJ Moore finished catching 8 of 12 targets for 126 yards. A really good fantasy pickup there. We saw a little bit of Chuba Hubbard, the rookie out of Oklahoma State, carrying 11 carries, 52 yards. But the other thing about McCaffrey that was alarming was when he went to the blue tent, it was quickly that they said he's out for the game.
Yes.
Like that's like, ooh, that's worrisome. But this defense, like you said, I mean, Shaq Thompson playing well, Jeremy Chin playing well. You got Brian Burns, who's just a phenomenal like athlete. Hassan Reddick's fitting in there. You gotta hope that Jaycee Horn will be back sometime this season. He was one of my favorite cornerbacks to evaluate in this last NFL draft class. But credit to Matt Rule, he's bringing them together. Meanwhile, on the other side, man, the Texans are just a hot mess, and there's some players on that you just feel for. Brandon Cooks, man, he just can't catch a break. 9 catches on 11 targets for 112 yards. He's fighting hard. Davis Mills, I thought Davis Mills, for being a rookie that nobody cared about, went a 19 of 28 for 168 yards and a touchdown on a horrible team. I actually give him credit for how he fought in this game against a very good defense. Yeah.
He looked good. And the thing about him, he only had 14 collegiate starts at Stanford.
Right.
He only started 14 games, so he's still a new booty in the game, man. He's still young. He still got Similac on his breath. I mean, he is a young cat. But he was able to get it done with a team that's not very good, like you mentioned. I think because we all know in Houston, Deshaun Watson will never take another snap there for the Texans. Tyrod Taylor, he can't catch a break. And I shouldn't even use break and his name in the same sentence because everything ends up getting broke. But Davis Mills might be the guy moving forward. I mean, it's a small sample size, but he did show some signs on Thursday that he could be a good player.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And also shout out to their linebacker, Zach Cunningham. 14 total tackles in this game. The guy's
Vanderbilt, right? Vanderbilt?
Yes, a Vanderbilt dude. A guy that I was keeping an eye on in the draft as well when he was coming out. But just, again, tough time for the Texans. You know, I thought last week they were in a really good position to take out the Browns until Tyrod Taylor got hurt. I mean, he was giving the Browns the business. If he had stayed in, I fully believe the Texans would have been 2-0 coming into this game. But the Panthers 3-0 through 3 games. They got the Cowboys next. That's going to be a challenge, but a lot of winnable games against NFC East opponents like the Eagles, like the Giants, the Falcons are on there. There's a chance that Matt Rule's Panthers, if they can get back to healthy, get some of their key players back and hang on for some of those games, they could be in a really good position come mid-season to say, hey, if we're healthy, we can make a push and make a playoff run here.
I'll tell you this, and I know it's early in the season. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Last time that the Panthers started out 3-0, they ended up in the Super Bowl. Now they lost, but they ended up in the Super Bowl. The time before that, they started out 3-0. They ended up in the Super Bowl. They lost, but they ended up in the Super Bowl. Time before that, well, they ended up in the NFC Championship game. Now they lost, but they ended up there. So what I'm saying is when they start 3-0, good things happen to them. And so we'll see what happens. Again, I'm a firm believer in what Matt Rule is doing. I think he's a hell of a coach. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough challenge, especially with the injuries they're dealing with. But if a guy can overcome it, it'll be Matt Rule.
Hey, man, when you make your bed, you get to lie in it. And if the sheets are nice and silk, you can lay in that silk. And so when you sitting there undefeated, you get to take that and enjoy that and carry that with you. So that now if they lose to Dallas, you're 3-1 through 4 weeks. I think any Panthers fan would have taken that when they started this season. So,
and where they got silk sheets at? Because I know the hotel I stayed at in Pittsburgh, there wasn't no silk sheets.
Yeah, you wasn't staying at the right hotel. If you had checked with me about the hotel, I would have told you where to go. Because
I ain't got that kind of pocketbook. I ain't got that kind of wallet. So you stay with the upper echelon. I stay in the streets.
Listen,
literally
man,
in the streets.
You saw where I stay. I'm in the hood. I am in the hood. There's a chicken joint right there and a barbecue joint right there and vacant lots right there. Like you saw where I live. So don't you try to pass off this line that I'm living in the Ritz.
He's living that fabulous lifestyle, man.
Get out of here. All right. We're going to get to all of our week 3 picks in the next segment. But first, I got to tell you guys about Built Bar. If you want a healthy treat that tastes like a candy bar, Built Bar is the protein bar for you. It's the official protein bar for the U.S. track and field team. And it comes in so many different flavors. Whether you want a fruity snack like raspberry, strawberry, or orange, or something different like salted caramel, cookies and cream, Rocky Road, my personal favorite, double chocolate, or a new flavor that just came to my door, the real cookie dough. Q,
Oh,
have
you
you
got that
gotten
at the door? You got that delivered?
Woo! This is fire. I've had
Where's mine, Bill Barr?
Listen,
Where's
Bill
mine?
Barr. Why ain't you hooking up Q? Bill Barr is coming to your door right now. But Built Bar can hook you up right now. If you go on their website, built.com, make sure you look up the real cookie dough flavor. I've had 2 of these. They are phenomenal.
That's because you live in that good neighborhood. That's why Bill Barr sent them to you first.
That's exactly what it is. But the best part about these Built Bars, Q, they're healthy. They range from 130 to 180 calories. They pack 17 to 18 grams of protein, 4 to 5 grams of sugar, and only 4 to 5 grams of net carbs. That's a tasty and healthy snack that'll save you from eating the snack that you regret later and helps anyone stay on task with their diet. Order today to get your favorite flavor, like the real cookie dough flavor, delivered right to your door, unless you're Q. Go to built.com. And use promo code LOCKED15. That's LOCKED 15, LOCKED15, and you'll get 15% off your next order. Again, that's promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com. Keeping it rolling right here on the Friday edition of the Locked On NFL podcast. Chris Carter here with your boy Q. All right, Q, let's get into these games because there's some really good ones this week. Now,
how'd I do last week? You got a record of how I did last week?
Man, I don't got time to keep track of that.
Yeah,
stuff.
you are. See,
Yeah.
I did really well.
Why don't you keep track? Why don't you keep track? You can keep track.
Because I know I did well.
Okay, what was our records then?
Mine, I was 13-4.
There's 16 games.
No, it's 17.
There's 32 teams. There can't be.
Ooh,
your math is bad.
my math is bad.
He said 13-4. I'm like, that is physically impossible. See, that's how I know you lying. That's how I know you lying. I was 13. You just said a number. That's all you
did.
You wasn't no 13-4. Get out of here with that.
I was 13-3.
Yeah, okay, a little bit better this time. See, if you had said it the first time,
you should have said 12-4. It would have been cleaner.
Oh man, that was great. That was great. He's the 13-4. No, sir.
Are you sure?
There are 32 teams, Q.
They didn't add extra 2 teams.
How they're going to be 17 games with 32 teams?
They didn't add extra 2 teams last week.
It's the AFC Central. It's back. Yeah, that's what we got.
Damn it. My bad.
Anyways, all right, let's get to some of these picks.
All right.
Leading off, 2 1-1 teams at 1:00. Washington football team at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills looked too good last week. They shut out the Dolphins. I think they're going to be too much of a problem. I know Washington's got a defense, but the Bills got a defense too. They're going to win this one at home.
Yeah, no doubt. I got Buffalo as well. I do love the front that Washington has. I love that defense, man, but they just don't have the offensive firepower to hang with Buffalo. They'll hold them for a little while, but Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs and company, Devin Singletary, they'll get loose, and Buffalo will get this dub.
Same here. Now, this is an interesting battle of the Midwest right now. I have a lot of friends who are from Chicago and from Cleveland, and man, it's like they only play each other every 4 years, but they hate each other. And I'm like, geez, this is weird. But Bears 1-1 at the 1-1 Browns. Justin Fields is starting in this game.
Yep.
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing, Q?
I think it's a great thing for Chicago and Chicago fans because they're going to see the future, and I don't think he comes off the field. I don't think Andy Dalton ever gets back on the field except for an injury, and you never, forecast an injury. So I think Justin Fields rides it out the rest of the season. I don't think he gets off to a great start as far as this game goes. I think Cleveland gets a dub, but it's great to see Justin Fields in the new future of the Bears quarterback situation there in Chicago.
I'm going with the Bears simply because the way Tyrod Taylor was carving up the Browns last week in that early part of the game, I'm like, I don't know, man. I just don't believe in this Browns defense. I'm intrigued to see. They might win this one. I knew they'd win last week, but I just thought they would. I thought they would control the Texans from start to finish. They did not. They needed that. They needed Davis Mills to come in to be able to take the lead on them. So I'm gonna roll with the Bears. I think their defense is going to cause them some problems. But we'll see for sure. That one's a 50-50 for me, just because I really think that I think the Bears. I think Justin Fields is going to surprise some people this year. 1-1 Ravens at 0-2 Lions. I'm just picking the Ravens. Why are we even wasting our time?
That's Baltimore, no doubt about it. No disrespect. I don't want any Lions fans to come at us like the Bengals fans did us. But I just don't see the Lions getting close in this game. Baltimore's had 2 roller coaster games so far this season. They lost one and won one. So, yeah, I think that they get this dub. And, again, Lions fans, no disrespect, but it's going to be a while before you become a team that I pick on the regular.
Yeah, man, biting kneecaps is not working right now. Another game I think we don't have to spend too much time on. 2-0 Cardinals at 0-2 Jaguars. Kyler Murray's carving them dudes up. That's Urban Meyer's going to be 0-3.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the watch is on. How long does Urban Meyer decide that this NFL thing is for him? Every loss, I think, is going to take another year off his life. And I don't mean life physically. I mean life in the NFL. So we'll see how long he sticks it out. But, yeah, Arizona, I think, is going to give him the business. I think they're going to boat race him and send him back to their mama with their tails between their legs.
Ooh, that's bad. But now here's a really good matchup. AFC West Showdown. I know your eyes will be on this one, Q, because these are 2 divisional opponents for your Raiders. 1-1 Chargers at the 1-1 Chiefs. Justin Herbert versus Patrick Mahomes. I feel like this will be where everyone's watching at 1 o'clock. I got the Chiefs. I know they lost a tough one last week. I know their defense has been extremely suspect. I'm just not so sure the Chargers are ready just yet to win this game. They might be later in the season, but not right now.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game, though. I think Justin Herbert going up against, Patrick Mahomes is going to be a lot of fun. I love that it's an AFC West showdown. One of the 2 teams has to lose, so that's a win right there for the Raiders, who are sitting at 2-0. So I roll with KC in this game as well. But I do think that the Chargers give them an opportunity. They have an opportunity to win this game. I just think that they're, like you said, not ready just yet.
I'm right with you there. Now, this was a weird one for me to pick. 1-1 Saints at the 1-1 Patriots. I don't know what to think about either of these teams. The Saints in week 1 looked so confident beating the Packers, and last week, I mean, they faced the Panthers, who look for real.
Defense wins.
Yeah, but the Patriots, they look like a team that has the potential. I'm going with the Patriots at home. It's Foxborough. I know they jam the other team's radios. Maybe that has an impact on the outcome of the game. Jameis Winston, I'm just still not too sure about, even though I'm not sure about Mac Jones either, but I'll take Bill Belichick's defenses over Sean Payton's.
Well, I'll take Dennis Allen's defense over what the Patriots got going on. I think that the Saints win this game. Dennis Allen's a good defensive coordinator. He's a terrible head coach, but he's a good defensive coordinator. He got those guys cooking. Jameis Winston, I think he'll have a better performance than he did against the Panthers, because the Panthers have a really good defense. So I do think that New Orleans comes back and wins this game and gives Mac Jones some fits. And so that's on the strength of that defense what the Saints have. They get the W. That's the second game that we have that we differ on so far.
Okay, you're keeping track. Good, because
I am. Because I'm tired of you cheating. Talking about I went 13-4. They ain't even.
You said you went 13-4. Don't get out of here. It's on camera. It's
Tape don't lie. Tape don't lie. Go back.
Yeah, you literally said it in 4K. He caught you in 4K.
Tape don't lie. That's you.
You're gonna rewind. Just hit the YouTube. Someone take the YouTube button, go back like 3-4 minutes, and watch him say I went 13-4, and then he's lying.
Chris Carter, he fooled me. That's all.
What's not that hard?
Not that hard. And I read it. It's like I was reading the teleprompter.
That's totally what it is. We have all these teleprompters right here, right next to my desk. That's totally what's going on here. All right, toilet bowl game here. 0-2 Falcons at 0-2 Giants. Wait, I don't got a coin. I'll just flip my Built Bar. Heads, I'm going with the Falcons.
All right, I'm going with the G-Man. I think that they showed enough last week, even though it wasn't in a victory. They showed enough last week to show that they have a little bit of competency. Daniel Jones has moments, especially with his legs, that he does really well. So I think the G-Man get this dub.
Listen, the just 2 nights before you came to hang out with me in Pittsburgh in that same bar I took you to, I was watching that Thursday night football game with my good friend Jenna Harner of Channel 11 WPXR, our NBC station in Pittsburgh, and she's a diehard Giants fan. We were watching that when the field goal was missed by Washington. We were all like, "Yeah, Jenna, your team won," and she didn't even look away from the screen. She's like, "Something's wrong with this." And sure enough, there was a flag. And she's like, I'm a Giants fan. I've been a Giants fan for too long. I know these games. And so the sheer depression that she showed me, I'm like, it's tough to bet on the Giants right now, man. So and I know the Falcons ain't that much better, but that's why I just flipped my Built Bar here. It landed ahead, so I'm going with the Falcons. But the G-Men could totally win this one. Moving along here. So that's 3 differences we have now, right?
Yep.
All right, moving along here. Bengals at Steelers. Steelers lost a tough one at home to the Raiders last week. The Bengals started off 1-0, lost last week. Division game. Joe Burrow coming into this the Steelers, lots of injuries they're concerned about. Ben Roethlisberger looks like he's going to play. TJ Watt looks like he's going to play. Devin Bush and Joe Hayden look like they're back. But there's still some concerns with Deontay Johnson and Alex Highsmith for the Steelers. I'm sticking with the home team with the Steelers. I think that, the Steelers' offensive line needs work, but so does the Bengals and the Steelers' pass rush. If TJ Watt's healthy, they're going to be bringing it.
Man, this is a tough one. This is a tough one because I got a bunch of friends now that are Cincinnati Bengal fans.
Because after the one guy came for our lives, he's
he's my homeboy now. He's my homeboy, man. You know what I'm saying? He came from my throat. He came from my neck, but he's my homeboy now. I really want to roll with the Bengals in here. I want to say that Joe Burrow's going to get Pittsburgh, but I don't think that Mike Tomlin allows the Steelers to take 2 L's in a row, especially at home. I just think he has them better prepared than that. I think Najee Harris has a better day than he did against the Raiders, so I'm going to roll with Pittsburgh as well. But I'll tell you, Bengal fans, I see you. I see where you're at. I know I have not picked you one time this year, but I see that you're getting better. No, seriously, you're getting better, and I need to respect that. So I'm shouting out to the Bengal fans. I see the come up.
They're still going like 5-12. It's gonna be a rough year. But 0-2 Colts at 1-1 Titans. I'm going with the Titans. I'm sorry. Carson Wentz got two messed up ankles. Even if he had 2 good ankles, I'm going with the Titans. I don't believe in what I'm seeing with the Colts right now.
No, the Colts are a mess. Carson Wentz is a mess. I don't know where his career is going, man. I really don't. He's one of those guys he's always injured. He's always banged up. He's in a situation that he wants to be in now, and he's still banged up. I'm with Tennessee. I think that Derrick Henry has a good game. Ryan Tannehill plays a little bit better than his opposition, and he wins the game. I'm not a big Tannehill guy. I know that the Colts have a pretty good defense, actually a really good defense, but I still think Derrick Henry's a monster, so I'll roll with Tennessee as well.
Yeah, as long as he's on that roster, they're going to be fine. Also, shout out to Joy Taylor on Fox Sports 1 when she was watching the Carson Wentz explain, I'm going to trust my doctors about my ankles. And she's like, oh, now you want to trust the doctors. And I was like, dang, Joy coming for Carson Wentz's neck. But moving along here, 4:00 games. This is another one I don't think we have spent too much time on. 0-2 Jets at 2-0 Broncos. I'm sorry. Jets are horrible right now. Zach Wilson looked like a joke. He's going to throw even more interceptions in this game. Broncos all the way.
Yeah, the Broncos have a really good defense. They're legit. I got to give them credit for that. Obviously, it's a team I pay attention to a lot in the AFC West. I think they get the dub, and they improved to 3-0. It's a surprise 3-0, but they're 3-0. Teddy Bridgewater, shout him out too.
And there's a chance that the Raiders could join them at 3-0 because they're 2-0 hosting the Dolphins coming to the West Coast. Well, not the West Coast, but you know what I mean, Las Vegas.
That's the West Coast.
Yeah, okay, there we go. As long as we're on the same page there. I was just saying, technically it's not a coast, it's Nevada, but it's close enough to the coast.
We on the west side, homeboy.
There you go. Let's go. The west side. All right, but 1-1 Dolphins at the 2-0 Raiders. I'm going with the Raiders. Their pass rush is too impressive. The Tua is not even going to be playing in this game. I think the Raiders. I wouldn't say easy. I think the Dolphins will give them a hard time.
Yeah.
But they're at home. They're going to ride this wave. They're going to be 3-0.
I think so as well. The Dolphins defense is strong though. They're very solid, but I just think that the Raiders front four is going to give Jacoby Brissett a bunch of issues. Derek Carr is playing some good ball, as you very well know. He's throwing the ball around the yard. He's doing a heck of a job. Yes. So I think that it's going to get done, and the Raiders will improve to 3-0. And I gave the nugget on the Carolina Panthers last time they were 3-0. Last time the Raiders were 3-0, it was 2002.
Whoa, what happened that year?
They went to the Super Bowl. Now they lost.
And Janet Jackson did the halftime show.
Shut up. Shut up.
I remember that being the talk day because the game was boring, man. The Buccaneers put the whooping on, but everyone was talking about Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake. And I was
should.
I was in the 8th grade. Like, I was just like, huh.
That was my favorite moment in Super Bowl history. I even Googled it before Google was a thing.
You Googled it. Like, Google was a startup, and Q was like, let me see.
Who didn't want to see a Janet Jackson breasts?
Oh, my gosh.
Who didn't want to see that?
I shouldn't have. I knew
there
you.
There was young ladies that wanted to see that.
This is true. I'm
just saying.
And MTV never got to do it again.
No. It changed the game. That moment changed the game of everything.
It did. So
I'm probably not even allowed to say that anymore.
So you need to see the Raiders go 3-0. So maybe we can get a crazy halftime show this year. Moving along, more 4:00 games. We're going Seahawks at Vikings. Seahawks 1-1. Russell Wilson, I think, is too good. Vikings lost a heartbreaker last week. Q, did you listen? Did you get a chance to listen to the Vikings broadcast of that game, like the radio
No,
call?
no, what'd they say?
Man, so like the Vikings lining up, going to kick a field goal,
Yeah.
and the
Then they
radio
shifted.
guys, the radio guys thought he hit it. They're like,
Oh.
it's good, and then like, oh no, he went wide left. Oh no, they lost. It's over. And it was just the saddest thing because like imagine being a Vikings fan, like listening to that live and being like,
Yeah.
oh wait, what do you mean? You told me. Oh man, that was rough. I think the Vikings have a hard time bouncing back. I got the Seahawks winning.
I got the Seahawks as well, and they're coming off a tough loss. They were up on Tennessee, and they found a way to lose that game, and they shouldn't have lost that game, but they did. They were 51-0.
Yeah.
51-0 when winning by 15 or more points at a certain point, and they lost.
That's tough.
Or no, they're 52-0. So now they're 52-1. There you go. Same thing. Anyway, there's not very many
right now.
They hadn't taken I know my math sucks. They didn't take very many L's at that point, and they took one. So I think they come back with a vengeance and they win this game, no doubt.
A big game, Sunday Night Football, 1-1 Packers at 2-0 Niners. I think the Packers got right last week. Aaron Rodgers hit the relax button and said, "We're back in business." I'm going with the Packers. I think they do more than enough against the Niners.
All right, well, I'm going to switch this one up. I'm going with the SF, San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
I think the 49ers improved to 3-0 on the season. I think that they find a way to get it done. I know that Green Bay is good, but the problem with Green Bay, they struggle to stop the run. And anything that you know about the 49ers, they love to run the rock. I think that's the deciding factor right there. They run the rock, and they run it well.
They do. All right, Monday Night Football. I love this matchup every year. NFC East Showdown, Eagles at Cowboys. Now, I know some people feel like, well, that's not a great matchup lately. But listen, I went to Chain University, the first historically black college university in all the land. It's not too far from Philly. I got to go to college with a whole bunch of Eagles fans and a whole bunch of Cowboys fans. And Q, all I had to do whenever these two teams played was find the residence hall where most of the fans would be at and just sit back with some popcorn and a Pepsi and just watch these fans hate each other for 3 hours. And it was the jokes, the yo mamas, the fights, and sometimes it was little fights, and I'm just sitting there like, man, this is amazing. Eagles and Cowboys fans hate each other as much as any fan base, but I'm going with the Cowboys. They're at home and they're playing too good of football for Jalen Hurts to overcome that right now.
They're creating a lot of turnovers. That's the key, man. They lead the league in turnovers right now that they've created. So I think that defense is playing well. Dan Quinn's doing a good job. Now, turnovers aren't guaranteed, but at least they're right there. They're going out there and getting them. I like Trevon Diggs as a corner, second-year corner out of Alabama. He's doing some good things. And then your guy from the Pittsburgh area, Penn State. Now I'm forgetting his name, Micah Parsons, right? Micah Parsons.
He's phenomenal. I told you when they drafted him, he was going to be a beast. And man, he has proven that right.
You could play him anywhere on the field. He played at DN last week.
He was giving them the business. Like
Gave
they couldn't stop him.
Yep. I'm with you. I got Dallas in this game as well.
All right. Now, our game of the week that we skipped over, I know there's probably some fans of these teams that are like, what y'all doing? Not talking about our game. Game of the week, Buccaneers at Rams. We'll break that down in our final segment here on the show. But first, we're going to tell you guys about Run Your Pool. Football season is back. Let's make the most of it with a better way to create your custom pool at runyourpool.com, the premier sports pool hosting service. Now, for those who don't know about Run Your Pool, go to runyourpool.com and check it out. I'm doing a Locked On Steelers Pick'em League, and we have over hundreds of people competing. And if you win our pool, you get your Steelers jersey of your choice at the end of the season. Check out Run Your Pool for all the different offers and all the different things out there. But it's an amazing way. If you want to start your own, go to runyourpool.com. It's great to play with family, friends. It lets you play pick'em leagues, survivor leagues, margins, confidence pools, 33, all the different kind of contests that you can enjoy with NFL and college football, whether you want to do 1 week games, full season games, just the playoffs, Super Bowl, or anything along those lines. You can reconnect with your friends. There are nearly 2 million football fans that are enjoying Run Your Pool right now. Check them out today and get $10 off at runyourpool.com/lockedon, or use the promo code LOCKEDON at checkout when you go to runyourpool.com. Anywhere, everywhere in the world, Run Your Pool helps friends and colleagues compete, and the NFL season has begun. Be sure to get your Run Your Pool league started at runyourpool.com/lockedon and have your pool up and running in minutes. Again, that's runyourpool.com/lockedon. game on. And of course, we're also brought to you by BetOnline. It's that time of the year again, and all eyes are now turned to football as teams are back on the gridiron to start the football season. As always, BetOnline is your number one spot for all the pro and college football action this season. Get all the updated odds, props, and contests, including the $500,000 NFL Mega Contest and the $200,000 NFL Survivor Contest open at BetOnline. Head to the website right now or use your mobile device to sign up today to receive your 100% welcome bonus. But be sure to check out all the different promos that are available. Sometimes you can get a special promo that lets you get a refund on your wager up to $25. Make sure that you check out the details of any of the contests that you enter to see what is available at BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports, from football to basketball to boxing, right down to horse racing. Don't wait to take advantage of all the great offers available for the 2021 season at BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. Now, we keep it rolling here to finish things up on the Locked On NFL Podcast Friday edition with Chris Carter and your boy Q. Of course, game of the week. 2 undefeated teams. If I recall correctly, in the power rankings, these were the top 2 teams that we listed as on the power rankings for the Locked On Podcast Network, with the Buccaneers at 1 as the reigning Super Bowl champions and undefeated. But the Rams have made some statement games early on. They're at home. I know they have the best player in football, the best defensive player in football. If you think Patrick Mahomes is number 1, but Aaron Donald's there, Jalen Ramsey's there. I do think Matt Stafford is making a case for himself to say, like, hey, I have been misused and mistreated in my time with Detroit and all the years. But with all the momentum they have, and they're playing in that new beautiful stadium in LA, I'm sorry, I still have Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. I know Antonio Brown might not play in this game, but that defense is vaunted, and Tom Brady is on fire right now. I'm not going to bet against him while he's playing like this.
This is a tough game to call. It really is, because everything you just mentioned, man. Both these teams are really good, really dynamic. I'm not a big Matt Stafford guy. I'm just not. I never have been.
I'm not either. I'm not. But I give him credit for these first 2 games. He's impressed me.
For sure, and you have to because of everything you said. He has impressed the first 2 games. Sean McVay is a hell of a head coach, and the Rams have a hell of a defense. So you just kind of have to go through it and decide who you think is going to be the X factor. Tom Brady is hard to go against anytime. I don't see the Buccaneers going 17-0. I just don't.
I don't.
So I feel like at some point they're going to take an L. So why not take an L on a game when you're not playing at home? You're already riding high 2-0. You may not have Antonio Brown, like you mentioned. There's some other factors that play along with it. Well, why not trip up here? So I know that it feels weird and it feels wrong to go against Tom Brady and say that they're going to take an L, but I'm just going to pick I'm picking the Rams to win this game, pretty much on the strength that they're at home, even though I know that SoFi Stadium in LA is a place that a lot of fans are going to just go to just to check it out. It is the home of the Super Bowl this year, so that's where that'll be played. A lot of fans are going to go there just to check it out. Similar to Allegiant Stadium, a lot of fans are going to want to go just check out the new stadium when their team plays. So I think you'll see a lot of representation of Tampa Bay, but ultimately, I think Aaron Donald is just too much of a man. I think Jalen Ramsey is just too good defensively. I just think that they have so many weapons on defense that it's going to give the wide receivers and Gronkowski and the running game of Tampa Bay fits. And really, that's what I think is going to make the game close. If Tampa Bay can get the run game going, it'll be close. If they don't establish the run early, I think the LA Rams get them, and I don't really feel like it's a close game. I think that LA wins by 7 to 10 points if they don't establish the run.
Okay, that's a strong take there, Q. I see you.
Well, I do, man. I'm a strong guy. I'm strong. You know the saying that they say I'm strong.
That's it. That's the saying, I'm strong.
I mean, that's all I can really say. You fill in the blanks.
Okay. I understand now. I understand you were blanking out some words there. That's what was going on. I was like, that's it. I'm strong. I was trying to go through my.
I gotta say, I'm strong. I'm simple. I'm strong.
Okay, I understand where you're going with this now, but in all seriousness, I don't disagree that the Rams could take this game. I really think that the Buccaneers could run into this game. I look at this schedule. I think they could end up splitting with the Saints. I think there's some of these teams that could catch them napping. They play the Bills later this year. I think that could be tough. They got 2 late games with the Panthers, 2 games with the Panthers in 3 weeks. If the Panthers are playing well defensively that late in the year, and maybe Christian McCaffrey's back and healthy, maybe they can split some games there. But I feel you on the Rams pick. I understand that, but I'm sticking with the Buccaneers until they prove that they're falling off. Because I still think they're riding that high off of the Super Bowl, and Tom Brady teams, when they're riding that high, they do stick with it for a little bit. But
the thing about it though, if the Rams win, like I think they win, all of a sudden you're looking back at Thursday night and you realize The Panthers are sitting in first place by themselves.
You know, I didn't even think about that, but that's a very good point. They would be sitting at the top of the NFC South, and who would have predicted that?
Fighting Matt Rules will be sitting on the top of the NFC South in only his second year. That would be pretty impressive. Even if it's only a small sample, 3 games, I'd be pretty stinking impressed by that.
That is very impressive in and of itself. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. Well, they're either way, they're going to be in first place because they're 3-0. They just may be tied for first place at 3-0 if the Buccaneers win this game. But Q, that's another split for us. All right, how many splits do we got this week, Q?
Well, hold on, let me write that one down. I almost forgot. You went with Tampa Bay. I went with the Rams. So we have
count with your fingers because I know your math isn't that good.
I know. Really, it's not good at all. I don't know why, but we're at 3. We are at 4 total ones.
All right. So what are our
16 games? By the way, there's not 17 games. I just want you. Actually, there's only
it's
15 this week.
You sure about that?
Because it's a bye. Someone's got to buy.
No, it's because we didn't pick Thursday Night Football, Q. You're having a rough time, man.
I'm having a rough time, brother. I've been drinking water all night. I need to go and drink something stronger to get my brain right.
Well, but see, here's the thing: is like how are you having a hard time? I'm on the East Coast. It is like 1:00 in the morning as we record this. It is nice and cozy, like 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. for you. Like you should be nice and chill and like in your zone right now. I'm the one that stayed up super late to watch the fighting Sam Darnolds. You take down
that rules.
David say, yeah, okay, whatever you call them. Anyways, 4 games. What are our splits this week?
Let's see. Bears and Browns. You took the Bears. I took the Browns.
Okay.
Patriots and Saints. You took the Patriots. I took the Saints.
Okay.
Falcons and Giants. You took the Falcons. I took the G-men. And then Tampa Bay and the Rams. You took the Bucks. I took the Rams.
We also split the Packers Niners, correct?
Oh yeah.
Look at you! If it wasn't for me,
out there like that.
That's 5. That's 5 split again.
All right,
you
5.
count it on your fingers, and you still can't get it right.
Hey man, take your $5 foot long. Get on down the road, man. Shut up.
Anyways,
got me on a bad day.
We'll see. Make sure you keep that sheet somewhere, man, so we can talk about these picks next week, and then you're not saying, "Oh, Chris, dude, there you go." Yeah, but don't lose it. Don't lose it.
I don't lose things.
Okay.
Look at that. Boom.
You lost your math skills. I know that much.
That's okay. That's okay. You see, I put 5.
You can't read that. It's too small of a screen.
I can read it.
We can't. You're holding it up like we can read stuff there. We can't read that.
Well, that's your fault. Get some bifocals.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna like stare at the camera like this, and okay.
I think you got bad eyes. I can read it. Anyway,
oh man, what am I supposed to do with this guy, man? What am I supposed to do with these guys? Anyways, thanks for listening and watching the Locked On NFL podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Odyssey, and YouTube. Hit the like on this button if you enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button on our channel if you want to get more videos like this all throughout the week. Q, it's always great being with you, my man. Let people know they can find you, follow you, and get more of your work.
Simple, man. At your boy Q254. That's Twitter. You can find me there. Of course, that's where I put all my work. Locked On Raiders podcast, Locked On Bets with Lee Sterling for ParamountSports.com. Put it out every single day, bright and early. And, of course, Locked On NFL with my guy, Chris Carter. All that at your boy Q254. What about you?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Carter Critiques. You can also check out my work at DKPittsburghSports.com. I'm the host of the Locked On Steelers podcast. Monday through Friday, you want to get all your shows on content on the Steelers, you check me out there. You check me out here on Fridays with your boy Q on the Locked On NFL podcast. You can also catch my fantasy football show with Jenna Harner on Wednesdays on WPXI.com. We break down all the different advice for you on fantasy football. You can also watch me on Channel 11 WPXI with various shows like The Final Word and Skylights Highlights, where if you're in that niche of probably 1% of our viewers that cares about Western Pennsylvania high school football, I got the show for you, Skylights. Anyways, thanks again for following this show and sticking with us. We appreciate you. Rate the show 5 stars on Apple with a positive comment. That stuff helps out the show. This show will be back on Monday, keeping you up with all the Monday updates from the NFL on the Locked On NFL podcast from Chris Carter and your boy Q. Have a great weekend, everybody.